I love Godzilla. Growing up as a kid, I watched all the Godzilla movies, and Godzilla is the main reason why I love film so much. The creativity, the art, the behind the scenes, it was like watching magic being put together slowly, and the outcome of it is just this really interesting yet creative film, even though the story may be dumb or ridiculous. My favorite Godzilla movie so far is the Shin Godzilla because of how dark, disgusting he looks. At first, it took me a while for me to grow into it, but I eventually got into it. I also love the 1954 movie, purely because it's a metaphor behind the Hiroshima bomb that occurred. And obviously, all the Godzilla movies are ridiculous. Some of them are really dumb, and some of them are pretty good. Growing up, and even to this day, I would love to make my own Godzilla movie. Personally, I would make it the most depressing, dark shit ever. I would make a Godzilla movie kind of like The Impossible, or like in like The Mist kind of shit. I would make a family see if they could survive like the disaster Godzilla creates, and yeah. In celebration of Godzilla vs. Kong coming out, I am not watching the trailer, personally, because with the previous Godzilla movies, the trailer showed off every single monster scene to the point where like when you watch the movie, you're like, oh well, I already saw this in the trailer, so it's not really entertaining. You're just sitting there like, well, okay. Now I'm pretty sure everybody knows about my biggest gripes with these recent legendary movies. It's always about the humans staring at Godzilla or the fights being cut off right before like it hits. Like, I personally still kind of like the 2014 Godzilla more than the King of the Monsters one. Mostly because the movie is kind of dark and mysterious, which I really like. I'm just still confused like why he defeated like 2 monsters and everyone's like, oh, he's the king of the monsters. There's so many things I just want to talk about. I mean, like, Rodan's first appearance in King of the Monsters had so much potential. They could have easily set Godzilla to fight Rodan like the old movies, having them fight. Godzilla uses atomic breath, Rodan gets beat up, and he tries flying away, and then he gets into King Ghidorah, and have Rodan at least try to fight Ghidorah, and bam, he's down. That would have been really interesting. On top of that, seeing the citizens die from the destruction or some shit like that, that scene right there where he flies over Mexico, that was god beautiful, but I wish they elaborated more on that. The scene with the Washington destruction, I would have loved to see how that was unraveled, seeing the citizens' perspective, the water flooding the streets, killing families, and even dogs, kind of like in the 2014 movie, except he dies. I told you if I were to make a Godzilla movie, it'd be dark. Let me explain why this movie is such a fucking disaster, but let me start with the pros first. The 2014 flashback was cool. Definitely wish that scene was longer. That scene could have been really emotional. Mothra's scene was really cool, like as a cocoon. Barry McCreary, he created the music. I am so in love with his craft and work. He also made God of War. He basically nails it in nostalgia, and the scores sound amazing.
Nobody move!
Godzilla's first appearance within the film is like the best Godzilla scene I've ever seen in history. Like, you can't even argue on me with this. King Ghidorah's entrance is jaw-dropping. The build-up to Godzilla vs. Ghidorah was hype. Each of King Ghidorah's head had a different personality, and Kevin was my favorite.
Did you really think this was going to be easy, painless? Is that what you told her?
Leave her out of this.
Why? You're the one who pulled her into it.
He has a really good point. That scene where the helicopter has landed to that big-ass ship was really well done. The throwback reference to the Oxygen Destroyer was fucking crazy, because that was the bomb that killed Godzilla in the very first Godzilla movie in 1954. King Ghidorah and Godzilla fighting underwater is cool. Mothra looks really pretty. Godzilla's resurrection scene was really uplifting, especially the score. Good old Mothra sacrificing her life for the homie. The visual effects are great. The acting is so good. Just a poor written script. And burning Godzilla, but that means he would have died? Like the old, okay. Now with the cons, this is where shit gets long. So you're telling me that this kid and her mom have been living in this forest this whole time? Does she go to school? Does she have a life? How can I connect to her? Why would you take your kid to a job that contains confidential information? Okay, why would you stay with the crazy mom that is going to release this big ass monster? I mean, don't you have PTSD from a giant monster already? From killing your brother? I mean, wouldn't you be like a bit upset at your mom? Okay, Ghidorah decides to just eat that one person out of the whole group. Main character passes out cliche.
I'm saving the world.
But by releasing those things, that doesn't make sense.
As impossible as it seems, it does.
Excuse me, what? You're saving the whole world by releasing monsters that could destroy human existence. That line kind of contradicts itself. And it's also adorable how she also realizes at the very end she fucks up. And does she have this whole like slideshow set up? What? And apparently she's using this device called the Orca to coexist with the Titans like the previous generations. But they never had a device like this before. I really wish the Ghidorah and Rodan fight was longer.
You never took that watch out of your pocket without him asking that question.
Why is he whispering? Do we even need this scene? Why is a device that basically controls giant fucking monsters who can destroy the planet being left unattended? Why? Just why? The build up to New Godzilla was boringly long for no reason. It showed Godzilla's history and shit. Like, we already know this. We don't give a fuck. Us as an audience, we already know this motherfucker. This whole movie is like watching a presentation.
Was a tunnel into the hollow earth. It's a subterranean tunnel system that connects the entire planet. It doesn't matter. I knew I was right. I told you, Ken.
Shut up, Rick.
They really should have limited Rick's time. This movie's already boring enough to the point where jokes don't even land. Does no one not see her dismissing the evacuation protocols? Wouldn't this submarine be radioactive since it was affected by the nuke's blast? You couldn't make a new Godzilla war? I mean, Michael Dorter really was like, yeah, let's just reuse this 1954 one. Twice! Why are we cutting this part? Why? Why?
Is it just me, or has he been working out?
Shut the fuck up! At this point of the movie, we really don't care about the family drama. Please stop giving us blue balls by teasing us with these build-up fights just to watch this shit! Like I said before, the trailers really showed all of these scenes, so I've already seen this before. I'm not like intrigued at all. This would have been such a perfect opportunity to show Godzilla and Mothra fighting Rodan and Ghidorah. That would have been, ugh, man. I'm sorry, I love Godzilla, but he should have died from that. And they somehow fixed the orca in the rain? I mean, couldn't she just like left the orca on the floor and just went on the plane? Even he's like, I'll leave it to it, you're fucking crazy.
Long live the king.
Okay. Didn't this bitch die in the last movie? Okay, like I said though, I haven't seen the trailer of Godzilla vs. Kong, but there's a new director, Adam Wingard, and he's mostly known for the Death Note movie, which I'm very, very nervous about because that movie is kind of garbo. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna accept it. Godzilla vs. Kong, it's gonna have a trash story, perhaps. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen the trailer, so, but they had years and years to make this film, and they also reshot, re-edited. They even pushed the release date because Adam was all like, "Hey, I want this movie to be perfect." I'm really trusting his word, but at the same time taking this with a grain of salt. All I'm really asking for is some really cool, like, dumb action fight scenes, you know? Stop the cuts! The characters, at least make them somewhat interesting. Given the monsters were really uninteresting, I didn't give a fuck about them at all. I'm sorry. Even though Millie Bobby Brown's back, so we will see how this goes. Kong Skull Island was actually a film I genuinely enjoyed. Kong Skull Island is a perfect example of how a Godzilla movie should have been. Like, if you're not going for like a dark tone or like if you're not gonna execute it right, at least make it really fun to watch. And I'm gonna say this right now, Godzilla fans, you guys are toxic as fuck. Before the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer came out, I still remember every single day. I follow Adam Wingard on Instagram, and every single post they would fucking be all toxic as shit in the comments. Someone passed away at some point, and people were like, release the goddamn trailer. I'm toxic too, I guess, but at least be fucking respectful. That shit was, be patient, be fucking patient. That's all I'm really say. I'm really excited for this movie. I generally don't care about spoilers. The only thing I really do care about is who's gonna win. I'm placing money on Godzilla. I know Godzilla's gonna fucking win. That's my fucking boy. Honestly, I kind of already know all the spoilers because of the fan base. Fan base kind of spoils fucking everything. But seeing all the Kong versus Godzilla memes on social media, it's actually kind of nice because I don't think Godzilla was ever this like trendy, like ever.
If I could take you up in paradise up above, if you
water, chimps will drown.
I'm gonna watch this movie with my girlfriend, like in her living room and shit. But if the movie is generally that good, I'm gonna watch this shit in 4D if there's any theaters open, which I hope there is. But yeah, I want you guys to comment down below hashtag Team Godzilla or hashtag Team Kong. I'm just saying, if you put Team Kong, I'll beat your ass. I'm kidding. Other than that, follow my Discord, follow my Twitch. You know, it's all about the vibes. I really want to thank you guys so much for watching. I put in so much work and effort, and I really do. I'm really passionate about YouTube. So until next time, peace.